everyone, Good Investor here. I hope everyone is doing well. Dropping a new video as promised in the video about SOS. Since this is a completely different topic, I did not want to include both of them to make sure that it's not getting too long. But the video that I'm including today, it's about Nvidia. Nvidia have done amazing today. I don't know if you heard about that, but they've done pretty cool. I mean, 5.62% a day from about $570 to $600, and I think they're just starting because there's a couple of things happen. So I want to cover everything today about what happened and what is going to happen in the future, and I think you should listen to everything here to make sure that you are positioning well on your portfolio if you're investing. So please stay tuned. This is going to be very important. So to begin with, what happened today in Nvidia, right? Nvidia actually today came up with a news on the new products that they're coming up with the market. So they came up with a couple of new GPUs. So especially it's more focused towards workstations and PCs for millions of artists, people around the world. So what they're actually focusing is on virtual desktop users, meaning you can literally work from anywhere and have a virtual desktop out there wherever you're working. So that is actually very cool, and we see where Nvidia is positioning themselves. We obviously know with all the situation that is happening, remote working is becoming very essential. So right now companies like Nvidia are making sure that they position themselves with this new adjustment. So obviously they come up with the completely new products, and market is very excited. So this is completely filling up the needs that people need, and we can read over and over what is exactly going to happen here. So they are talking about hybrid work, which is becoming a new normal, and by hybrid work they obviously mean a couple of days working from home, a couple of days from the office. So their position is that working remotely is gonna stay. So this is a new normal. Yes, we could go to the office from time to time, but nothing's gonna be the same anymore. So remote working will be a lot more than it used to be. So definitely they know this, they are telling it to the market. So that's actually a big thing, not only for Nvidia, but for the whole semiconductor industry, right? Because a lot more other companies could also do that, and Nvidia is just starting, starting to give these big news, whereas others are also planning to announce a couple of pretty cool products, as well as coming up with new guidance on their financials. So this is very cool. We know where it is all going, and we are very excited as well. So this is not the only thing that they come up with. By the way, I'll leave this link down in the description below to make sure if you want to guys read, because this is getting a little technical on what exactly they're producing. If you are, if you actually want to learn about Nvidia, about the company that you want to invest potentially, this could be an amazing source, and you can actually learn a lot what they're doing. So the next thing that they actually announced today was the financial guidance on their Q1 first quarter. So usually companies do that when they before even announcing their actual results, they just give some guidance. And the guidance that they gave actually above the 5.3 billion outlook provided in the initially, right? So essentially they are saying that we told you guys that we'll be making about 5.3 billion, but here we go, we're gonna make a lot more than that. So it could be a lot of things within that. It could be, one of the things is that, as we discussed previously, there's a chip shortage out there in the market, and that could be also dragging the prices of the chips. And as we know, Nvidia is there, so definitely that brought up them extra revenue on that side, as well as new products. Obviously these companies, and they do expect some numbers, but they always don't tell you the exact number to make sure that they're safe. So they are aware that they are going to beat their outlook sometimes, even though when they are giving you some guidance. So that's getting a little technical on the corporation, which I don't want to get too much into. But overall, they literally told the market that they are doing strong, and their Q1 results should be top notch and literally beating all the expectations. So everyone is hyped, and as we can see it on their price as well, it's reflecting beautifully, right? It's amazing. 6% on the company stocks that is about $500, $600 in price. 5% is amazing. So definitely hyped on that. I mean, if you scroll down here, I absolutely did well, of course, on this trade, $500, and I'm still holding. It's only stocks. I'm not holding on their options. And one of the reasons is when I option trade, I try to get the stocks that are very volatile. And Nvidia, with its price of about $600, they're not that volatile, and because of that, I would not suggest people to option trade, neither on them nor on any company that is not as volatile, meaning their price does not change as quite a bit a day, a month, or a week. So because of that, I do believe on a company, but that doesn't mean that I will go as in option trading, not because I don't believe as much, but rather because you simply know that the price of your option will not go up because it's not volatile enough. So that is literally throwing money away, knowing that your investment will not appreciate in price. So that is the only reason why I did not go in options, but I actually went deep into their stocks. So as you can see, I do have, as of now, about $10,000 in market value. I put less than that, of course. I put about 2,000, but by the time I actually made about 7,000, which is 300%. So as you can see, I actually bought them back in the days by $150. And there's a couple of other stocks as well that I bought them cheaper back in the days just because I actually believed in them. And we can actually go through the history of how exactly it all happened. So if you go to the history, we can look that I actually started buying them in January 2019, and in one of the comments I actually responded when I started investing. And fun fact, Nvidia is the first company that I started my investment, and it was because they dragged my attention. It was because, I mean, it was about end of 2018 when Bitcoin's price crashed, and everyone started selling off Bitcoin, selling off chip makers, and Nvidia was one of them, because when you are mining Bitcoin, you do need chips, you do need GPUs. So because of that, people started disbelieving on Nvidia. But deep dive, I mean, I knew that the market is overselling. I knew that they are not appreciating what Nvidia is about. It's not just GPUs. I knew that they are behind all the artificial intelligence. I knew that they are behind all the self-driving cars. They did have a couple of great clientele amongst, I mean, at that time, of course, but a lot more came by this time. So they are actually became better and better since then. But as you can see, I mean, in January 2019, I started buying with only 2 shares. I mean, I was very skeptical. This was my only trade. And back in the days, I mean, $300 was too big of a money. And it is right now still. But if you compare it with the amount that I'm investing now and back in the days, I mean, obviously I was just starting. I was still a student. I mean, my background is finance student. So I was still a student, and I wanted to see the practice on investing. So I had some theory from school, but obviously I wanted to use that. So this was my first investment ever on the stock market. So went in with 2 shares. And then when they went down, as you can see, they were 155, and then they were down again, 136. I was like, guys, this is just complete. I mean, I knew that this is just too low. So I continued buying them at 136, 138, 136, 144, 144, 188, 187. So I kept buying and buying and buying a lot more. And I actually got some dividends, and then I reinvested those dividends as well, because I simply believed in the company. And I even continued buying when they were $500. No, I started selling them. So never mind. So I bought them and I always kept them, and I started selling until the beginning of this year. So as you can see, I mean, I did sell them for a couple of reasons, because I just simply had a lot accumulated, and I don't want to be wrong, but I think I had about 25,000, if I'm not mistaken. We can accumulate all these, but about 25,000 in value. So I was like, even more than that if you accumulate that. So I was like, this is just a lot in value. So I wanted to kind of drag down a little bit the amount that I own, not because I'd stopped believing in the company, but rather because of this. So as you can see, there was a very stagnant move here. So I kind of didn't like that, because a lot happened during this time. A lot of stocks were going up. So I was like, maybe this is the opportunity. And I took as much as I could from Nvidia, sell some, and then use that money to reinvest. And at that time, I didn't have this channel. So I couldn't share what I invested on, but a couple of them were really successful since, so I can make another video on them as well. But that was the reason I sold. But again, I didn't sell everything because I simply believed in the company. So that was part of it. So now you might ask the question, what is it about it? So what does this news mean for you, and how you can position yourself? So I think Nvidia is just the first step. I think the overall chip making industry will do exponentially well especially this quarter, for many reasons. I mean, gaming is one of them, stimulus is another one. So they will definitely do exceptionally well, and you can either go with Nvidia or go with a single stocks like AMD and Broadcom, or you name it. But what I like in this position, and what I would suggest to you, and I talked about this in a couple of videos as well, is SOXL, of course. SOXL, this is a leveraged, it's a little more risky than a simple stock, but hey, they actually cover the entire semiconductor. Nvidia is one of the biggest ones among their holdings. Intel, Texas Instruments, Qualcomm, Broadcom, all of these are the top semiconductor companies in the world, so you cannot go wrong with them. And the best part is that they are leveraged, so they are actually doing better than the market. So if, for example, as you can see, I mean, within 1 year, SOXL went up by 500%. If we compare it with Nvidia, they went up by only 130%. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you can have the exact amount of risk as you're holding Nvidia, but since that one, the SOXL, is more risky, meaning not more risky, but more leveraged, it gives you more returns. But the amount of risk, I think, is the same, even though one is more leveraged, one is not. So I would definitely urge you to actually look at this, because this could be a game changer that not that many people know. I haven't seen that many people talking about this, but this could be a complete game changer, and it actually went for them as well when they were about $25. So as you can see, I mean, you can't go wrong with semiconductors, and I wanted to cover this in this video. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is something good coming up, and you heard my opinion as well. I'll talk to you in the next video.